Hi, this is Teresa Momber, and here's a look at the card I'm going to show you how to create in today's video. I'm starting by stamping this flamingo scene image from the Tropical Tidings stamp set from Gina K Designs using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Now I'm not worried about stamping the entire image because I'm planning on coloring and then cutting out that flamingo. To begin coloring, I'm using Copic marker RV14, and I'll just add this in where I'd like the deepest pink to be. Now I've switched to Copic marker R22, and I'm going to continue coloring. I'm going to go ahead and go over all the places where I have the previous color because that's a little brighter of a pink than I was looking for, and then blend out into the lighter areas. And here I'm switching to Copic marker R02 and once again blending from the previous color into the lighter areas. I'm leaving just a few small patches uncolored completely for the highlighted areas, and then I'll just go in with my colorless blender and get those areas saturated a little bit to let some of that ink bleed in. Now I'm pretty happy with my coloring, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out the image. Now I've set the flamingo aside to work on my background. I've cut this piece of white cardstock to 3.5 by 4 3/4 inches, and I'm sponging some blue denim ink, Gina K blue denim ink, from side to side to create a bit of a band in the just below center, and then I'll sponge that also along the top edge of the cardstock. And you want to be sure to tap off excess ink onto scratch paper first because we want to keep this pretty light. Next, I'll sponge using Gina K Bubblegum Pink ink, and I'm going to have this go from the bottom and blend up into the blue just a bit, and then also across the middle in that lighter area, and once again blending into the blue. Now as I continue sponging on down toward that band of blue ink, I'm getting lighter and lighter, and I'm going to try to keep just a bit of that completely uncolored. Now I'm working on my horizon line, so I'm sticking a piece of Post-it tape on the cardstock, and then I'll sponge along the edge of that using more Gina K Bubblegum Pink ink. I want to create a bit of sunshine in this scene, so I'm flipping that sticky tape around to cover the water up, and now sponging using Gina K Sweet Corn ink. Tapping off onto scratch paper so that it doesn't get too saturated with ink, and then working in the center and then blending out to the sides so that it fades out just a bit and is a little brighter in the middle. Now it's time to go back to that flamingo image from the Tropical Tidings stamp set. I'm going to stamp that using Versafine Onyx Black ink. Now you can see I'm being very careful to make sure to get a full impression since this is a fairly large stamp. And then I'm lifting it up and even rubbing on the back side. I'm also going to use some of the small bird images from the Tropical Tidings stamp set to create a few flying birds in the background. Next, I'm using an opaque white gel pen to add in some water ripples. Now that the scene is complete, I'm going to go ahead and glue down that flamingo I cut out earlier. And I'm using Gina K Connect glue to do that. This is perfect for this kind of detail gluing. For a final touch for the scene, I'm going to use a C3 Copic marker to add in a little bit of reflection shading below the grasses and flamingo legs. For the sentiment, I'm also using an image from Tropical Tidings and just stamping that on a narrow strip of white cardstock. All that's left to do is assemble my card. I'm adhering the image layer to a piece of black onyx cardstock that's trimmed slightly larger, and then adhering both of those layers to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of lovely lavender cardstock. And then I'm using dimensional foam squares to adhere this sentiment to the card. And that completes today's video. Thanks for watching.